Okay, we'd like to call a meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everyone. All right, what is this feedback here?
Yeah, try that.
Okay, I think that's better. Is that better? Thank you. We'll start with item 1.1, which was under awards and presentations, and this one is a very sad one for all of us. First of all, we want to recognize, we'll start with Laura, who's been with us as a board member for 6 years, and she's now hoping to move on to the town council. I don't know why she wants to do it, but that's her choice, and let's see, we hope she's successful in her quest. But we just want to thank you, Laura, for all the time you've given us, all the committees you've served on. You've been a great asset to the board, and we truly appreciate the service that you've given to Vernon and the students of Vernon. With that said, we'd like to give you a little gift. Thank you. Who's been on the board for 12 years. I think I just might cry because we came on the board together and we've worked as a team for so many years. Either he is chair and me as vice chair, or me as chair and me as vice chair for 6 years, and he's been an amazing asset to the board for the last 12 years, and he's going to be missed tremendously by all of us. And he's now leaving public service. Maybe a smart move, I don't know. But he is truly going to be missed. So we thank you for everything that you've done for us. And I'll give you this before we thank you very much for everything.
Good evening. I have a legislative citation for Dean to thank him for his wonderful service to the community and to the children of this town, but I would also like to personally thank you for your, not only for your 12 years of service, but also for your leadership as chair and vice chair of this board. You have taken some very controversial issues and have done a great job with them. I know that as an elected official, that's what we're supposed to do. But it's not always easy. So for that, I admire you for that, and I personally thank you for a job well done, because the children always came first in your eyes. So thank you. And with that, I would like to present you, let's see if I can open this. Not easy to do, is it? Okay. This is the State of Connecticut General Assembly citation from myself, Senator Guglielmo, as well as Representative Tim Ackert. Be it hereby known to all that the Connecticut General Assembly hereby offers its sincerest congratulations to Dean Howell in recognition of 12 years of dedicated public service to the Vernon community as a member of the Vernon Board of Education. Since elected in 2013, your leadership as board chair, vice chair, member of the Technology, Facilities and Negotiation Committee has made a big difference. We thank you for your caring approach to the needs of our students and your commitment to excellence in education. The entire membership extends its best wishes on this memorable occasion and expresses the hope for continued success. It is signed by the President of the Senate, House, Brendan Sharkey, and the President of the Senate, as well as Denise Merrill, the Secretary of State. And again, congratulations, and I believe there might be a little typo in this thing, I just caught it. I'll have to get after my aide for that, but I'll be nice. So we'll probably owe you a replacement citation, but meanwhile, and we congratulate you. Best
Thank you
wishes.
so much. Thank you very much. All I can say is I could miss this place. It's been a great 12 years, and I wish this board a lot of success in the future with the new superintendent. And I'll stick around. I'll come visit once in a while.
Good.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Madam Chairman, I just want to congratulate Mrs. Bush and Mr. Houle for their next chapter of their political careers and their service to the Board of Education. I know we've only worked together for a short time, but I've come to respect both of you, appreciate your input and advice, and I have both of your cell phone numbers, so I will be calling you both for advice. So thank you, and it's been an honor working with you.
Okay, well now, that said, we will move on to item 1.2, which is recognition of the Rockville Elks Club. Kent, you want to join us?
Are you sitting? Are they sitting? Pardon? Are they going to sit?
Well, welcome this evening. I think it's been some time since the Elks have been here to receive the recognition that they deserve. And with our new superintendent here, I thought it was appropriate for him to acknowledge the work that's been going on this year and prior years as well.
We want to thank you for the initiative that you did with the students here in Vernon, with the public schools. We appreciate it, and we look forward to a continued relationship with the Elks Club. We do a lot of good things for students, and we appreciate what you did. Do you want to talk a little bit about the program so everybody knows?
Hi, this is Claire Decker, who's the chairman of the Drug Awareness Committee for Rockville Elks. I am also the chairman of the same committee. We have been here before in the public schools to encourage the young people of the system to get more involved with the community, with the enhancement of the drugs that are out there today. And I'm sure you all here are aware of what's out there. It's phenomenal. So the more we can encourage our young people from grades 3 through 7, 3 through 5 is coloring contests, 6 through 7 is an essay contest. What drugs can do, what they should do, what they don't do, what you should not do them. There is monetary awards for the top students. These are gift certificates awarded by the state of Connecticut, and they can also go on to the national. So again, we encourage the students to get involved. We encourage all of the elementary schools to get involved with this program. And it's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to work with them. We don't mind doing the work, get involved with the communities, and you help us, and we will help you. Thank you.
She asked if she got a Rolex. I said no.
service. Now we will move on to item 1.3, Rockville High School Unified Sports Team presentation.
Good evening.
Hold on. Okay.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Joe Prignano. I am the transition coordinator and also unified sports coach up at Rockville High School. And I want to first just say thank you for allowing me to come here tonight and kind of present about our program at Rockville High School, which has really been successful over the past few years. I brought one of my mentors, Andrew Samard, who is a senior at Rockville High School, and Jazzy Hickman, who actually graduated from the Next Step program last year and was actually one of the first athletes to go through the Unified Sports program. So I'm glad to have them here today. What I wanted to do was first, I did it in a PowerPoint, and what I thought was to just give you some background about the Unified Sports program, what it is, what we started with, where we are now, and I actually have some pictures that go along at the end of this. So first, it is a registered program of the Special Olympics. It is the Unified program is the school portion of the Special Olympics that they started back in 1992. And just so you know, in the state of Connecticut, I think 90 to 95% of the schools that do have a Unified Sports program in there right now. And it's been tremendously successful. It does combine approximate numbers of athletes to mentors, and it does vary. This year, we've had a really big boost. And you'll see we have about 13 athletes, but we have a boom in mentors. We have about 25 mentors that have participated this year. And the one good thing is that we now are we had a big group, as Andrew can say, of seniors. So I was a little nervous this year, and we got a good crop this year of really freshmen and sophomores that have participated. It is based, they base them on their age and they do their skill ability. We are in a level 3, which is not a competitive level, but the mentors and athletes work together. And it's a great opportunity for the mentors, and Andrew will tell you, for them to really get to work with the athletes and get to build some good relationships. And then they are placed in competitive divisions. They have believe it or not, an elementary division, they have a middle school division, and they have a high school division, which we are in. And then lastly, this is what I was saying earlier, in 1992, when Connecticut Special Olympics formed a partnership with CIUC, which we are now part of, which has been a great partnership. We started in January of 2011 with basketball, and we started with probably 2 mentors and 5 athletes. So you can see how much it has grown over the years. In September of 2011, we added soccer, and then we started a bowling tournament, which I'll talk about briefly in a minute, which I started here really last year, and it's called East of the River Bowling Tournament, and we get schools from all over to come to spare time, and it's been a great, tremendous turnout. And you can say we started with 7 athletes and 4 mentors. And today we have 13 athletes and 23 mentors, and we are still working. We do have some athletes that we are trying to get more involved with this because of the great opportunity. So we're hoping to get that up. These are some of the things that we have participated in. One is the Youth Summit Forum, which is free for all the athletes and the mentors. This is really great for the mentors. We do bring in 1 athlete with us, and it's a great opportunity for the mentors to really learn team building and how to bring things back to the school about disability awareness and how to get schools involved and becoming more aware of it. And it's a great opportunity. They have great workshops there for them. We do participate in the Michaels Cup, which is the statewide unified banquet at the AquaTurf, which is a great event at the end of the year. I have pasta dinners, just like a lot of the athletes do. We have it in the cafeteria, great turnouts. We do an awards ceremony at the end. We have played halftime of basketball and soccer games up at the high school. We attend Rockcats game every year. They allow us free of charge. We go out in probably May or June. I try to get it later when it's warmer. So we go out there and we get to have a great time, and everything is paid for. In families, it's only $5, so we have a really good time with that also. We do fundraisers, which is also social events at Red Robin, which has been a tremendous success. And we've used that fundraising money, as you'll see, for some of the uniforms that they wear now and the shirts that they get for uniforms. And this is the East of the River Bowling Tournament, which I had started. We have one in December and one in March, and we're excited this year because Spare Time has just remodeled their whole interior, so I'm actually really looking forward to it this year. They have a whole new scoring, new TVs, new lanes, so we're really looking forward to it. And I've already looked, we've already have about 8 schools around the state that are already signed up to come, so I'm looking forward to that. We started a basketball league last year. The AD over at Simsbury decided for basketball to develop a league. So we have games every week. We either have it at the high school or we go out, and it's a great opportunity for them to even get more involved. Usually there's 2 tournaments a year. Now we're playing all these games and then including the tournaments. National Honor Society is a great, they have been a great supporter of Unified. Mary Leslie and Ms. Schultz have been running that up, and what they do is they provide signs for we have a game at the high school, they provide signs, and you'll see there's a picture of, they provide snacks for the teams afterwards. It's a great social opportunity for everyone. We've developed great partnerships with the neighboring towns. We've scrimmaged and developed partnerships with a lot of the towns. The benefits for the program. I think the big one, partnerships and friendships are developed. I think among the athletes and mentors, it has been truly an amazing thing to watch these friendships and partnerships develop, and it really is something to see. One of the things I'm trying to get more is having the mentors do more within the school with disability awareness, becoming more aware of students with disabilities. It has been a great, this group of mentors this year that is leaving has been a tremendous success in really being front runners at the school and doing that. And I'll let Andrew talk about that. The other thing that's really nice to see is the sportsmanship at these games. It's tremendous to see everyone, even from other teams, patting each other on the back, saying good job. And it's just a different camaraderie, and it's really good to see when you look at that for both the mentors and the athletes. And they get to participate in athletic events. These athletes get to get uniforms, they play in all these athletic events, and it's to see their smile from the participation. They get medals at the end of the games. It's just a wonderful opportunity for them. And then what I have is just some pictures so you can see some of the stuff that I've talked about. We have an opening ceremony during all the tournaments, and this is right at the beginning of a town tournament, basketball tournament. This is at the Michaels Cup last year. We had a good turnout for that. This is another one of the tables there. People came. Now this is National Honor Society, and you can see they put out little snacks after the game, and this was with Berlin. So you can see kind of the camaraderie where both teams sitting, talking, having a good time. So I think that's a big part of it. And there's another one. This is the Youth Leadership Summit. These kids went, these were the first ones to go. And then this was one of the activities. They had a motivational speaker there, and they got them all up and doing these things, which was phenomenal. So this is a picture of them kind of doing, I can't remember, but it was a funny thing. And then this was a post-game after the soccer. They have pizza, drinks. Again, great opportunity for them to sit down and meet with other people. And you can just see how everyone's having a good time. And I thought that was important to show how good both the athletes and mentors are just combining and eating together. And actually, one of the pasta dinners was held at Jazzy's house one year. So we actually went over, and her family hosted one of the pasta dinners. So God bless her. So she
That
was
was
able
fun.
to.
Not gonna lie, that was pretty fun. I love seeing everybody's faces that night.
We do a Red Robin fundraiser, and this is one of them. You can see a great opportunity. They've been really good. And it's a social event for a lot of these. We go out, and a lot of them just go and use it as a social event too. So it's a great opportunity. And then you can see Jazzy at the Rockettes. She last year was able to throw out one of the first pitches to the Rockettes game. So they have opportunities like that. And then they get to, if they come out. And this was the East of the River Bowling Tournament. This gentleman in the far right with the tie is the head of the Unified Sports. That's George Sinnett. He runs the whole thing within the state. So it was good to have him come and check out the event. And then these are just some pictures of the bowling event. You can see, great turnout, kids having a good time. A lot of the coaches say it's just one of their favorite because it's not competitive. It's a good social event. The kids have a blast bowling, and they mingle around and socialize. And then this was the first cake we had for our awards banquet up at Rockville. And then this was, we had an article done, I think, shortly after our first year where they did an article about one of the mentors who graduated 2 years ago, just how that opportunity of being a mentor on the Unified Speak really meant to him and how it changed how he thought. And then these are just some letters of recognition that I got. Well, not just me, but the school in regards to putting on bowling tournaments and how important they were for unified sports. So I have just some pictures. This is the soccer, so I have just some pictures so you can see all the different, this is a soccer tournament at Conard, and this is at East Hartford, and this is the awards at South Windsor. And then here's the basketball you can see. We have announcements, announce them just like in the varsity basketball team, so they get that opportunity to come out. And again, just some pictures. So just to give you an idea of what we got involved with, what Unified is. So I appreciate you letting us come and talk to you a little bit about the Unified program. I'm gonna let Andrew talk a little bit.
I can safely say Unified has been one of my highlights of my high school career. It's always fun coming during the week, going to practices, seeing everyone smiling, participating, and having fun. There's no other feeling like walking into one of the tournaments that we go to and seeing everyone cheering and having fun and just sense of camaraderie everyone has. It's definitely humbling. It puts everything into perspective, and it gets everyone active at the same time. That's one thing that we definitely need to do is keep being active, having fun, and branch out to the rest of the community. I'm now in NHS this year, National Honor Society, so I'm planning to be doing more things with Unified, helping out more. And I just want to get more people involved. I've seen the program grow over the years. It's been an awesome experience seeing where it's come from and where it's going. And I can't wait to be doing this hopefully later on in college and continue to participate.
Being one of the first athletes to take part in the Unified Sports in Rockville definitely changed how I thought about actually going to school, waking up, getting to know that I had to go to school, have fun have fun with some of my friends, and then at the end of the day, I ended up going to an awesome practice with all my friends, seeing them smile, seeing the mentors again. It's definitely been fun, definitely going to the tournaments and the scrimmages and just feeling the energy from the other teams and the other people watching us. It just gives, you can definitely feel the excitement and definitely the energy that comes off of that. And it really changes your life about it.
Yes, thank you enough, Joe. Thank you for starting the program, because we're a little behind on some of the other schools that they started back in the 90s. So
Yes.
I'm glad that we finally have the program in our school system. And I want to thank all the mentors who take all the time and effort to do it. I think it's a wonderful thing. And of course, the athletes. I'm hoping that you all do enjoy it. It sounds absolutely wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't know if anybody has questions.
I don't have a question, but I just want to commend you all for a great job and for a great program. And this little lady's name, is it Izzy? Jazzy. Jazzy. You said it all, Jazzy. And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Does anybody else have any questions or anything? Well, thank you so much for coming tonight. We truly appreciate it. It's a wonderful program. You've done a great job. So.
Thank
all
you.
of you.
Thank you very much.
Now we'll move on to item 1.4, which is the recognition of the Vernon Public Schools participating in the Hartford Marathon. We would like to recognize the staff and the students from Vernon Center Middle School, Center Road School, and Skinner Road School who participated recently in the Hartford Marathon. The staff and the students will share their experience with us.
Good evening, everyone. So I guess CRS is going first, and we're just here to celebrate with you our participation in the Hartford Marathon. And CRS brought 4 out of our 5 members of the staff relay. There were 5 of us that divided the 26.2 miles. We covered the whole marathon, and then Mr. Willett will go on to explain how we divided up the kids. But we also have some of our student runners with us as well, who will also be addressing you. And this is our 3rd year of participating, and each year has certainly proven to be an excellent way of promoting health and wellness amongst our staff, our students, our entire school community. And it's also an event that continues to build our school community, builds our relationships, our rapport with students, staff, and families in another way besides just academics. So it certainly brings us all together. And I do want to, I commend all of the staff members. We have Brenna Dunnick here, Sue Rubenstein, and, oh, that's right, and Sally Robinson was here. She had to step out, who were also here. They were part of the relay. And I want to commend Nick Willett for taking the lead role in organizing this for CRS, because he was the one that had participated, and when he came back 1 year after participating, he said CRS is doing this next year. So here we are 3 years later.
Good. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Nick Willett, and I'm one of the 5th grade teachers at Center Road. And I just want to talk to you tonight a little bit about what actually participating in the marathon means, because it's something that a lot of Vernon students share into some capacity. So I've learned through the event, about the event through Skinner Road. I talked with Tammy Mangold, and she had let me actually join the Skinner Road team 1 year and run a few miles with them and see what it was actually about. And I wanted to observe how Team Skinner Road ran and how that was organized, and I have to say that it was a very well organized and well oiled machine. They've been doing it for several years, and I was very impressed with that. But also how the other runners and running community accepted the kids being involved in a race that adults and runners have trained for several months. So I didn't know how they would interact with the kids on the course. I wanted to make sure that it was a healthy environment for everyone. And I have to say that the Hartford Marathon, everybody that is involved with that, the participators, the spectators, everybody was so involved with having the kids on the course at the same time as the other runners. It was great. So with that, I went back to Jocelyn and I said, we are definitely on board. We're going to do this. And it was early in the year, of course, the year unfolds and other things. And that summer before, Jocelyn said, we're still doing it, right? And I said, oh, yes. So get your seatbelt on because we're in for a ride. So our school, obviously, Center Road is one of the biggest schools. We only opened it to grades 3 through 5 in fear that we would have 100 kids show up and not have enough adult supervision. So with that, we started our first endeavor of the Hartford Marathon. We started with just over 25 students, and this year we grew, and over the years have grown to, we had 46 participants this year and 43 runners on actual race day. It takes place Columbus Day weekend. It's a busy weekend for a lot of families, sports and things. I mean, we even had kids that knew and from the very beginning that they couldn't actually run the race, but they wanted to participate in practices and be a part of our group and building our school community. So we participate, all of us participate in a program called Jeff's Running Partners. And Jeff Patridge is his name. He passed away. He was a employee of the Hartford Marathon Foundation. And in his honor, they decided to create Jeff's Running Partners. And through his affinity for running and commitment to education, they created an event that's fairly unique to the Hartford Marathon where students and their school staff can join a relay team, and up to 5 adults, up to 5 staff members can run per relay team, and as many students as you can get, cooperation from families and things can join. So I believe Skinner Road also had a very large number this year, something similar.
Yeah.
40 plus students.
Right in your-
Okay. So we have 46 3rd through 5th graders running, and we have 4 weeks of practice. We do practice twice a week, which is 8 practices, and in practice we just kind of talk about how to run for extended periods of time. Everyone thinks that they're just such a terrific runner because they play football and soccer, and just letting them know and understanding that running for 3 miles or even 1 mile is much different than the running that takes place in other sports. So the first day, the goal is really to be in motion continuously for a half an hour, which is a task. So they can choose to run, they can walk, they can do a combination of both, and then the only goal is moving forward is to just do better than the practice before. And it doesn't take long before we're out on the roads. Starting week 2 and really going right up until the end, we have 3 separate groups, a group that runs a mile, a group that runs 2 miles, and a group that runs 3 miles, and we have different courses around neighborhoods around the school. And there's always 2 staff members with groups of children, at least, as we go around and run all of these things. So one of my favorite things is having the kids start off and being very unsure about how far they can run. And then they come back and they're like, yeah, that was great. So on Thursday, I'm gonna try the 2 mile group. And then they stick with the 2 mile group for a while, but then I had a lot of students this year want to attempt to run the 3 miles. And 3 miles is a 5K. It's a lot for anybody, but especially great that a 3rd grader or 4th grader, even a 5th grader would like to run and be a part of that. And oftentimes they are upset that the marathon club ends after the marathon. There's no practices or anything. So I get a lot of questions from parents. Is there still a club? Can we still run with you? What's the deal? And it's always nice to hear that they had such a great time. So what would happen in a race is that throughout practice they would prove that they could run different miles, and then through the help of different families and staff members, the kids get put on and taken off the course at different times. So for example, I ran the first 9 miles of the course. I started with a student. That student stayed with me for many miles, and throughout the miles I picked up other students, and then as we got to their different mile markers, they either got off or got on with their family members. So it was a combination of 5 adults running the whole full 26.2, and 43 students, that either got on or off at different times. And something that's really nice that Jeff's Running Partners does is they invite all the teams, and certainly Vernon, they had well over several thousand runners from different schools around the state. They invite all the teams to join together again at mile 26, regardless of what mile they ran, form a team, a big clump of students again, and run the last .2 together. And they cross the arch, they run to the finish line, they get announced by the announcers as whatever team. So it's just a really great way to build community. Like Jocelyn said, this is our 3rd year, and I'm proud to say that we're going to go for our 4th year, and hopefully a 5th and a 6th and a 7th with family and adult cooperation and enthusiasm toward the event as well. So it's a community event for sure. When you think about we also have a pasta party at the end the night before on Friday. We all get together for a potluck pasta party that invites all the runners' families. So we had well over 100 attendees to that event. It's kind of like a potluck, and afterwards I had some student volunteers help me, and we donated all of the leftover food to the Tri-Town Homeless Shelter, and we drove down there and hand delivered it to them, and they took that they liked that a lot, and it was a big community event. So with that, we brought some of our runners, and they just kind of wrote down who they were, how many miles they ran, how many years they've been doing it, and a little bit of information about why they continue to run the marathon with us. So we just want to pass that around.
Good evening, members of the Board of Ed, and thank you for inviting me. My name is Ava Kristoff, and I'm in 5th grade at Center Road School. I've been participating on the CRS Marathon team for 3 years since it was started. I like running with a group of people, and I like hearing other runners encourage us. Some memories I have are of being stung by a bee while waiting to run, and also when Mr. Willett dropped his phone in the Connecticut River. The favorite part is finishing the race as a team, running under the arch, and the gift bag at the end. Thank you, Mr. Willett, for organizing this program for our school.
Hello, my name is Kevin Letourneau, and I ran 5 miles in the Hartford Marathon this year. This is my first year participating in the marathon. I chose to run this year because it was my last year at Center Road School, and I wanted to try something new. My favorite parts about running were running with my friends and hearing all the people cheering for me.
Hello, my name is Luke Liver, and I ran 4.2 miles in the Hartford Marathon this year. This is my 2nd year participating in the marathon. I chose to run this because I want to stay fit, and I like to run with Mr. Willett and my friends. My favorite parts about the club and running were running on the highway, the fans cheering me on, and crossing the finish line.
Hello, my name is Matthew, and I ran 4.2 miles in the Hartford Marathon this year. This is my first year participating in the marathon. I choose to run this year because I wanted to learn how to run better and longer and faster. My favorite parts about the club and running were, my favorite part about club was running on the bike trail. I love to run with my friends and talk.
Hello, my name is Dylan Letourneau, and I ran 2 miles in the Hartford Marathon. This year is my first year participating in the marathon. I choose to run them this year because I always like to be healthy and I like to be active. My favorite parts in the club and running were, my favorite part was running on the Founders Bridge in Hartford.
Hello, my name is Alex Walden, and I ran 1 mile marathon. This is my first participating in the marathon. I choose to run this year because my brother ran 2 miles last year. I'm very proud of him. That made me want to run a marathon. My favorite parts about the club and running were, I like to run. It's a great exercise, and I get to run with my friends.
My name is Zachary Walden, and I ran 1 mile in the Hartford Marathon this year. This is my 2nd year participating in the marathon. I chose to run this year because I wanted to get better at running and be energized. I couldn't wait to cross the finish line. My favorite parts about the club and running were
because it was good exercise and I get to run with my friends and make new friends.
Hello, my name is Weston LeBrecq and I ran 7.2 miles in the Hartford Marathon this year. This is my third year participating in the marathon. I chose to run this year because I ran all the other years, so I wanted to do it again since I love running. My favorite parts about the club were getting to carry the baton across the starting line and the finish line because I got to run, and because I got to run 7.2 and some other schools only get to run 1 or 2 miles. My name is Bella Schuster and I ran 2.2 miles in the Hartford Marathon. I chose to run this year because I wanted to continue and finish doing it because this is my last year I could do it. My favorite part of the club and running were being able to run off of school grounds on the trails because all of the leaves were changing every day.
And I just want to add, we were very similar to Center Road School in the setup. This was our 9th year running in the marathon, which was started by Tammy Mangold, as Nick mentioned. Her first year of starting the marathon, there were 6 students who ran. This year, there were 48 students in grades K through 5 that took part in the running club, and 44 who ran the night or the day of the marathon. The shelter had a lot of pasta because we donated 2 huge pans of pasta salad to both Tri-Town and the Cornerstone as well, and they were very thankful. So you guys must have been either right before us or right after us. Tonight here with me is Carol Chatterton, Judy Manfrey, who comes back and runs with us or coordinates with us, Tammy Mangold, who left to have a baby, and she came back. And we had some teachers from the middle school who joined us. And we started practicing the second week of school. And what's wonderful, as Nick mentioned, is we teach them the ethics of running a marathon, how to pull over. And when that group runs across the finish line and you see that sea of green going, the crowd goes absolutely wild. So I'm just going to pass the mic, because she didn't really plan on doing it, but I kind of twisted her arm, to Caitlin Chatterton, who's just going to tell you a little bit about how long she's been doing it and what the marathon has meant to her.
Caitlin?
I'm Caitlin Chatterton, and I'm in 5th grade, and I've been doing the marathon for 7 years. And I always love doing it because I get to run with my friends.
Excellent. And Caitlin's father, Charlie Chatterton, also runs the Vernon Public Schools Marathon, and he goes and runs 26.2 miles, starts at Skinner Road, goes to every school, runs around town, and then will end at Skinner Road for the last mile. And all of our students join him and run the last lap around the school. So it's a lot of fun. And the only thing different this year for us, we've also joined the billion-mile race, which I just told Mrs. Conglish about, and we are counting all of our miles to see if we can be part of the entire nation that runs 1 billion miles. We currently are second in the state of Connecticut for the number of miles that we've run. We're in the top 20th percentile nationally from K through 12 schools, and we're number 1 in the district because it's only us right now in the middle school that's taking part. So I'll confess that, but we are number 1 in the district. So thank you again for inviting us here tonight.
Thank you very much.
We'll be quick. I'm Joanne Stevens-Martin. I'm a health and PE teacher at ACMS. I also organize the running club after school, and we've had a runners club for a number of years, but our numbers have been increasing greatly over the past few years. Not only just with runners club, but cross country. Runners club are up to 25 kids who just run 2 days a week. Cross country has about 40 kids, and then we have both the boys and girls soccer teams after school right now. A lot of fitness activities are going. We're really trying to improve the fitness levels of all students in Vernon, as we're seeing our fitness scores are really struggling sometimes, so we really need to work on those a little bit extra. So we've really been pushing hard. But today what we're going to talk to you about a little bit is we didn't do the full marathon at the same day that they did the marathon. We participate in an activity that happens the Tuesday before the marathon. And it's a 6-week running program, which the boys here are going to tell you a little bit about, so I won't talk too much. But students of all running abilities are encouraged to participate in running club. We have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. Some are fantastic runners, so then I push on to the cross-country team. Some are just learning to run, so we do a variety of running activities from games and trail runs. We go way back in the wonderful trails we have, so if you haven't been up to the disc golf course yet, we've had trails back there for years that we've really taken advantage of. Anyone in the public can go up there and run, jog, walk. You really should check them out if you haven't, because it's a really beautiful place to run. So we go back there and get up in the hills, and sometimes we have to walk because it is a little bit of a challenge back there, but they do a great job. We've been participating in the Fit Kids for School. It used to be called the IMG Run for 5 years. It used to be held at Bushnell Park, and now with Eversource taking it over, they now hold the final mile at Rexford Field, which actually is nice. It's a nice facility, keeps everything a little more contained instead of running through the streets of Hartford, so it's kind of nice that they've moved it. It is a free running program. They pay for our buses, t-shirts for all the students, medals, snack bags at the end. They have music. They have companies that come into a whole fitness expo for the kids at the end. So they really put a lot of effort into trying to get the kids excited about running, so there's something at the end to look forward to. I'm going to let now Xavier, he's going to tell you a little bit about the running program.
Hi, I'm Xavier Menes, and I'm a 6th grader at the CMS. I'm a part of After School Running Club. Runners Club meets 2 days a week during September and October. We run for fun, to be fit, and to train for the Fit Kids in School running program. The goal for students is to complete either a half marathon or a full marathon training. At the end of 6 weeks, all students who have completed at least 12 miles have the opportunity to go to Rexford Field and run their final mile. On the day of the final mile, there are kids from other schools who also trained. There's music, fun, runs, pull-up bar challenges, and rope climbing. It was fun because everyone got to hang out with friends and run. What I liked about this running club was being able to run and play games with friends. Also to make new friends. Now Nathaniel will tell a little about the training students had to do to participate in the final mile shoot.
Hi, I'm Nathaniel Roman, 8th grader from ECMS, and I'm on the cross-country team. I'd like to talk to you about our training for this program. Students in the running club, soccer, or cross-country are able to join this trip. The training I've done for this program, for me, it was kind of easy because cross-country meets every day, and when we have our meets, we run anywhere from 1 to 2 miles. And for practices, we run 1 mile. For other students, they log miles either at soccer practice, during PE, and after school. Some students log miles at home with their family. Each student have to complete a running log over the course of 6 weeks. What I liked about this program was it was very fun, because I like running, and to see that much kids pushing and working hard to run really show that kids want to be more active and really care about their health. And also the program gave kids a reward for all their hard work.
Excellent. So we just wanted to give you a little bit about what we do. Are there any questions about our running club or anything that we have going on?
So 2 things. First of all, congratulations to every one of you. I've run Hartford, and it's not a lot of fun. And I'm actually training for Boston right now for next year, so that will also not be a lot of fun. But I did want to say that you never know where running will take you. Yesterday, the Marine Corps Marathon was held, and a runner who used to run for Tolland High School actually won the Marine Corps Marathon yesterday. So it's certainly a great thing to keep doing for the rest of your life.
And
Congrats.
thank you. Nathaniel will be up at the high school next year, so we're pushing him to do cross country up there, right, Nathaniel? So we'll be looking for his name in the paper because he's a fantastic runner. And Xavier, he's just getting to middle school, so we have a few years to get him ready to really do a great job. So we thank you for having us and to share one of the great things that BCMS is doing and ways to stay fit. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We want to present. I'd like to present the schools with certificates and thank you for all the work you've done organizing it. And I was on the Skinner Road team when they first started, and I can attest to the fact that it was lots and lots of fun. So I thank you, and thank you for sharing all of your experiences with us. So I will have Skinner Road School, Sandy.
Caitlin's going to accept it.
Congratulations. You want to take this for Skinner Road? Thank you. Center Road School. Congratulations, and thank you for sharing your experiences with us. And middle school, thank you very much. You guys are doing a great job. We appreciate it. Great. Good luck. Well, thank you, everyone. We love hearing about it, so it was great. Well done. And I also want to apologize. I was remiss at the beginning of the meeting, and I neglected to welcome our town council members that are here, John Kopak and Julie Clay. I know Suzanne, Kim Appleyard was here, and she already had to leave, so I'm sorry, but thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed that presentation as much as we did. It was great. All right, we'll move on to item 2.0, the consent agenda. 2.1, Mr. Gould.
Motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Mrs. Bush?
Second.
Anybody want to pull anything? Okay. All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Then move on to item 3.0, Secretary's Report. Opportunity for the Board of Education to add or delete agenda items. Mr. Gould.
Make a motion that we add item 6.2 under general business. It'd be the donation of the Sparks movement kits from New Balance and Good Sports to the Skinner Road School. And there's a document in your folder.
Is there a second on that, Mr. Linton? Any discussion, comments, concerns? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you. Any other items to add or delete from the agenda? Okay, we'll move on to item 3.2, the Rockville High School Student Representative. Mr. McCary, we'll start and welcome our new representative.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. I want to introduce and welcome Charles Artist, who's currently a senior at Rockville High School. He's a varsity athlete with basketball as his focus. He volunteers his time with Pee Wee basketball, coaching the RHS Athletes of the Future, and serves in our physical education mentor program. Charles, we welcome you to the Vernon Board of Education and look forward to your input and feedback. Thank you for being here with us.
Good evening. Last week at Rockville High School was a very busy week for us. We kicked off our week with Spirit Week, Monday with Sport Day, and Tuesday with Twin Day, Wednesday with Wacky Wednesday, and then we had Blue and Gold for Thursday, and we ended our week with our class day on Friday. And to addition with that, we had a Powder Puff game Thursday night. The juniors, coached by Coach Berry and Coach Camp, took the win over the seniors, although we worked hard. The seniors, coached by Mr. Barron, followed by Powder Puff. The yearly bonfire. The bonfire started off. Friday night was the homecoming football game versus Bloomfield. Saturday night was filled with dancing at the homecoming. We sold over 350 tickets and more than 200 people showed up for the dance. Friday, the girls had their volleyball game and won against Vernon to place them in the States, as well as the girls soccer team, which they beat Bloomfield to place in the States too.
Great. Thank you. Welcome, first of all. And we appreciate you taking the time out to join us at our meeting, so thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions for Charles? No? Well, welcome. We thank you very much, and thank you for your report.
Thank you.
We'll move on to item 4.0, the community forum. Opportunity for comments on agenda items, potential future agenda items, or general information provided to the board from citizens and community organizations. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board this evening? No? Okay. We will move on to item 5.0, teaching and learning. 5.1, staff professional development day on November 3rd. Mr. McCarron.
Thank you, Mrs. Fisher. Mr. Gene Santi and Mr. Matt Macklin is going to, I'm sorry, I'm telling, butchering names on a Monday night, I apologize. Are both going to be able to tell us a little bit about our staff professional development that's going to be happening on November 3rd, Election Day. So go ahead, please.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jason Mago, Director of Teaching and Learning. A little taller than that. As you saw tonight, it's all about the students that were here. So when I began this position, went around and started talking to everybody we could possibly talk to, administrators, teachers, each other, and said, how do we want to deliver professional development in Vernon? And as you know, one size doesn't fit all. To sit and get doesn't work because people can't take it back to their school and make it actionable. So what we came up with was kind of a menu of options. We have over 22 different things going on. We have 40 professionals that are just our staff that are presenting, as well as some outside agencies that are coming in to help us out. And we wanted to do what was right for everybody. So it became a collaborative effort in speaking to as many staff members as we possibly could. And everybody that came on board, as you know, a lot of us are new. And so we just started talking to people about what do we need, how are we going to move forward. So then Mr. Giannassani and I started talking, and I'll turn it over to him, and then I'll show you a little bit about what we did.
Okay, thanks everybody. I'm Todd Giansanti, Special Education Supervisor. Really what it started for me was I was asked to do a professional development in May for our paraeducators. And just spending the time listening, it was a great opportunity for me because it happened to be a smaller group at that time, and we were able to kind of really talk and find out what everyone's needs were, what was happening in different buildings. So it was a great opportunity for also to kind of prove myself and come together with Mr. Mago and everybody else involved to put together professional development that was going to be really meaningful. We tried to incorporate everybody's feedback on our evaluations. And this year, like Mr. Mago said, having 40 people present, we were receiving emails from people that wanted to present that we actually didn't have any more space to present. And it was really set up in that conference format. People get to pick, 2 out of 3 venues. It's tailored towards their individual professional learning goals, and most importantly, to directly impact the students. I would have to say that what made it easy for me is you come back from talking with people and you get really motivated to put something in place. And it was great because the team here put that in place. I mean, we had no problem with people housing the events. We're going to do a lot at Rockville High School to limit travel time, because a lot of times traveling between building to building when there's multiple venues being offered is difficult. So everybody really just came together, kind of shared the same vision, and we were able to put together, I think it's going to be a wonderful day. And I look forward to getting the feedback from this November 3rd.
So if I could turn your attention to the screen over there. This all went out today to staff. So it's an electronic version. This is what the day looks like. We start with a convocation with Mr. McCary from 8 to 8:45 at Rockville High School, so my time is right here, and that's in the auditorium. Then we have a breakout session from 9 to 10:30. During that time, you're going to see RHS has various NEASC things going on. Then we have Science Safety Lab. They're going through some different things, 6 through 12 on chemical hygiene. And then you have building-based, so you still have that time built in for the principals and the administrators in the building. For the elementary and BCMS, most of RHS is going to be part of NEASC. Then the paraeducators also have this time built in so that they have 3 different locations. As you can see, you'll be familiar with some of the names. Then we have a travel, because the three main areas that we're going to RHS, we're going to CRS, and we're going to Vernon Center Middle School. That way there, nobody's too far away, but at the same time, parking is always the key thing when you put these things together. So we have a breakout session, oops, I apologize, from 10:45 to 12:15. It says session 2, but that's the first big breakout session. This whole document was done in our Google Drive, so when you see this was a collaboration between many people who had access to this, and that's how we made this come together and got the room numbers and the max numbers and things like that. We have people from the high school, middle school, and elementary schools, as well as administrators and community liaisons presenting during this. So we have Aspen web pages. We have a couple different options there. We have how to flip your classroom, typical versus troubled, exploring math workshop, K-5. If you're familiar with the workshop model, that's what we do right now for reading and writing. It's called Reader's Workshop, so we're trying to see if we can use that same mentality with our math to try to help people present in a different manner. Using the DWOW math data and the SRBI checklist to inform instruction, 7 myths of rigor. I don't need to read the whole thing to you. It'll just duplicate when we go here, and we have a few other things that come through. So you will notice, like smart basic training, we have a lot of smart boards in the district. We wanted to make sure that people are utilizing them to infuse their curriculum in through technology. Establishing a writing lab, that's all of our ELA teachers. So this is your basic schedule for the day, and what we did is we created a form, and this form will help us to track who went to what, and you get to choose, you put in your name, you put in your school, and then you choose, where did you go for each thing, and once you hit submit, that'll actually list out, we'll be able to sort it and give the presenters the names of people, so if they have certain things that they need to bring, for instance, the next steps in guided reading of the strategies book, I spoke to the teachers that are putting that on today, and they talked about the need of bringing work, because all of these things will be actionable on Wednesday. They're going to have professional development on Tuesday, and they're going to have something they can put into place with our students on Wednesday, and that's our goal for professional development. When it's all over, all staff have these 2 documents, and when it's over on November 3rd, they're all going to get this as well, which is what did I sign up for? What did I learn? As a result, how will I use it? And then the very last thing is, apologize, this computer's a little different than mine. The last thing is, what do you want to see? In the future professional development, what would you like to see? And so we can try to accommodate people, but we're also going to look at best practices and continue to collaborate to bring professional development to Vernon.
Thank you so much. I think the staff would be way more receptive to this format. I think it's great. So, does anybody have any questions for Mr. Kim?
It looks very impressive. Thank you for that. Is there a way that you're going to ongoing track who's participating in what format? What format did they follow, or learning track? I'm not sure the right words that you might use, but so that any given staff member can look back to see what they took advantage of in the prior year, so they can plan to take advantage in subsequent years. And does this all roll up somehow statistically where you can monitor, or the superintendent can monitor who's participating, who's not, and maybe why, and encourage those that aren't taking advantage to do so?
So to answer your question, I'll bring you back to the screen. When you go to this and you submit, and I choose, I can't do it because this is a PDF, but when I choose this and I choose another session, once I hit submit, there's actually something on my end which will give your name, and it'll say Mr. Kemp, and it'll say which school and what you signed up for, then I can sort it. So yes, absolutely, the superintendent can track it, or you personally can track it, because we're going to have a document that says what you attended, and then we're going to have your feedback as well as to what you're doing with that. So that will be something that we'll be able to look at moving forward.
Where that really comes in is really important as well, is the DCF mandated reporting training. Every 3 years, staff's required to go through this training. So that's one part exactly what's going to help us drive that. We're going to be making sure that everybody's trained. All our paraprofessionals are being offered that in 2 sessions. So that's one other nice way that this will track it for us.
And you can do this, like the CEUs years ago were done at the state level, and someday you might find out who did what in CEUs, if at all. So this is more instantaneous, and it looks like it's contained within your grasp.
That is correct.
Good. May I ask also, the outside agency that you referred to briefly, what is the objective of the use of the outside agency? And what do you hope that they're going to do for you?
The outside agency that I referenced?
I did.
Are
It's
you-
DCF.
So that agency is, they provide a free training just to make sure that everybody knows what, our legal obligations are as far as mandated reporting.
The gentleman's from DCF,
Yeah.
so that's what I was saying. As far as mandated reporting, it didn't make sense for one of us to put it on when you have a professional that works for the Department of Child and Families who will then certify that people have taken this course. And we also brought in Kid Safe, Paula Plant.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Mrs. Bush. I didn't get to look at all the listings, but is there a wide enough variety to reach out to all teachers? You have physical education teachers, you have specialist teachers, special ed teachers. Is there a wide enough offering to meet the needs of all the teachers in the district?
I believe there is, and that's what I taught in. I was a UA teacher, so that was one of the focus areas where I wanted to make sure that it was pertinent, because too many times things had come back and it was like, well, this isn't good. So if I can turn your attention to the screen again, using Excel to organize and analyze your data, that's K-12. So that's something you're offering in 2 different levels. Smart Basic Training is where different UA people that have the smart software, which many of them do, can use that. Special ed teachers can use that as well. Let's see what else we were talking about. Restorative practices is for everybody K-12. And then looking at the discovery education is for a lot of different people. Writing Lab supports a lot of, all of our students, I should say. And then web pages, Google Docs, that's all things that you can, K-12, that can be supported of anybody. And so we looked at all of these different things. The 7 myths of rigor, that's pertinent to every teacher as well. And again, we've offered a bunch of different things that we think people will be very happy with, because we've talked to a lot of people and said, what would you look for? And talking to people about how they actually utilize their data to drive instruction. And so that was a popular thing for many people, no matter who you were, getting away from the paper and pencil and getting into the use of Excel and being able to highlight and organize and sort your data so that you can actually drive your instruction rather than flip through page after page and try to understand what you wrote down. So in talking to different people, they've been very excited about that, as well as typical versus trouble. How do I recognize the differences? But we definitely took that into account.
I see a wonderful variety of things, but like me, when I go into professional development in this format, there's things I want to take. I can't take everything I want. Will many of these things be offered at different points in time so that whoever would like to sign up for them, you can only pick a couple of things. So there's many things that I personally see that would be beneficial to me. I want to make sure that they're going to be offered again, but not too many times, so that the same things are over and over again.
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons why we have that feedback at the end of the survey to say, what do you want to see going forward? And depending on the number of responses is how we can then design our half-day Friday PDs. We can set this up at this school, we can set this up. So if restorative practices is something that people want, or if it's Excel or whatever the case may be, it might be guided reading, it might be math workshop. What we're going to do is then design our PD based on needs. So we'll have an idea if 50 people want to do math workshop, then we'll set up double presenters for the next half-day PD. We might drive into the February PD depending on what the needs of the district are. We're going to look at our data, we're going to analyze and say, okay, where do we go next? And we're going to drive the instruction that way, but absolutely.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm impressed with everything that you had to say, but most impressed with actionable. I heard both of you use that word, and I think that's so important, and maybe something that hasn't always been focused upon. So it's just not, what'd you call it? Sit and get? Sit and get?
Sit and get.
Okay.
That's the old school, stand and deliver.
Okay. But I focused on actionable, and I'm really glad to hear that. I'm assuming the staff will be very glad to hear that as well. Thank you.
It was a very collaborative effort, just so you know. When Mr. McCary came in, one of the first things he talked about was professional development, and Mr. Testa as well. And we worked with people at the high school, we worked with people across the district to make this happen. So it is something that we researched. It wasn't something that we said, oh, we think this will stick. We really wanted to make sure, again, that it was actionable. But thank you.
Mr. Stanton?
I agree, it looks great. I know a lot of the feedback we've heard from our staff over the years is that PD is, sometimes a waste of their time, and that we're not giving them what they actually need. So what I'd love to see out of this is actually, bring back to the board how it went, but how was the feedback, because I think this conference format is a really valuable way to deliver it, and I hope the staff likes it.
Not a problem. We'll figure out a way to bring it back, make it actionable for you as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. Does anybody else have any questions? I just have one. Do the principals, the building principals know what all their teachers are taking? They gonna
They will.
get a list of
Yep,
that?
we're going to get that whole list together, and we'll figure out how we're going to disseminate that information. I was working with Karen Lipsky today, and she was showing me how everything went and how we can sort different things based on the responses. And as I had mentioned, one of the teachers said, well, Jason, we really need staff to do this. And I said, great, then we'll get a list. I'll get it to you by Thursday, and we'll email them individually rather than flood everybody's email and confuse people. Because based on what you choose, there may be different parameters so that we can take that. It might be your work, it might be a certain book, it might be your computer, depending on what you need, we're going to reach out. So yeah, we're going to go through, and we're going to go through and let the principals know so that then they can work with their staff from there.
So that'll give the principals the opportunity to, or is there going to be a way for them to track that the teachers or the staff are implementing what they've learned?
I believe so. I believe that's going to be part of our administrative training that we're working on right now, and something where we're having conversations and open communication. So I definitely see it where they're going to be able to take that and drive that.
They both. When we talk about differentiated instruction, when we talk about it for students, we need to model it as adults. And I think this program really does that because it allows everybody to have a different opportunity on what they need. But I think I think Mr. Stanton's point is a good one. We need to come back to this and then reflect on it and then do it again and come back to it. So it becomes a learning cycle, and that's something I know that both of them will do and will keep doing. If you notice in your board agenda, we're going to have a topic now for teaching and learning at every meeting. And hopefully it might be 2 topics. So those kind of conversations we need to have, and we need the input. I'm excited about professional development on November 3rd. It's driven by the teachers. It's driven by the staff. It's going to be good. But then we can't just do a one shot. We've got to come back and maybe in like 4 weeks come back to the board. This is what went well. This didn't go well. And this is what we're going to do for next time. So I'm excited about it. I think it's a step in the right direction for teaching and learning in the district. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. We can't wait to hear the results. Good luck with it. Thanks.
You as well.
Thank you. Appreciate it. We will now move on to item 6.0, reports from Board of Ed liaisons. Does everybody have any? Mrs. Bush?
I attended several events, but I went to the Agriculture Education Welcome Freshman Picnic this past Wednesday. And as always, it was a great event. There were some outside people that I was talking to, and a couple of things that they noted about this specific event was how it brought families together, and they were working together, they were carving pumpkins, but it was just so heartwarming to them to see the families working together on a project and coming together. And I see that. I see a lot of that happening in Vernon schools, but having someone bring it to my attention was just very heartwarming, and I thought it was great to see. And it's a great program, and it really does bring our newer students in and give them the team building and the camaraderie that they need to be successful in the program. I also attended the Festival of Bands, and I was at a couple of the football games since the last meeting. But I'd say well attended. and the spirit of the high school was very much there. So it feels good.
Thank you. Mr. Stenson?
A couple of items. I also got to attend the Ag Ed Welcome Freshman Picnic. I was there as a parent because I have a freshman. And it was very interesting to go back since that was me 27 years ago, something like that. So that, I don't remember us having a Welcome Fresh picnic, so that was a really nice event to attend. And I know Mr. McCary was there as well, and got to meet a lot of the staff and all of the families that were there, so that was great. Earlier this month, we also had the Ag Ed Consulting Committee meeting, which is representatives from each of the sending towns that send to our VOAC program. There's supposed to be 2 from every town. Not every town manages to come up with 2. But we meet and discuss what's going on with the Ag Ed program, challenges, things we can do to help the program continue to be successful. Recruiting, as always, is a big topic. We all know we'd like more Ag Ed students. A lot of towns don't like to send them because then they have to pay for it. It comes out of their pocket. So, same way we don't like sending our students anywhere else. There is actually a change in the law that governs how we can recruit. They used to be obligated to hold assemblies for us to show up and recruit. And unfortunately, because of the large number of other educational opportunities, that was getting pretty well abused by everyone under the sun. So they've actually changed it now to they're no longer obligated to hold assemblies for us to recruit. They do have to still provide us with the names and home mailing information of any eligible students. So I know there was a very nice brochure that was getting sent out, may already be out to all of the 8th graders from the sending towns around here. But we're hoping that change doesn't drastically impact our recruiting efforts, because we definitely want to keep a successful ag program in town.
Thank you very much. Does anyone else have anything to report? I was at the Center Road School PTO, and I believe I spoke to our last meeting that a parent had wanted to start a Lego league there. Well, he has moved forward, and they do have a Lego team with 11 students, so they're all very excited about that. And I did wanted to share with everybody a comment that I received from a parent who had volunteered to be a part of the focus group for our school feasibility study. And she said that they were there for 2.5 hours. And they said it was very pleasant and nice, but they thought that the questions were not very focused. So they weren't sure if the person who ran the focus group really got a lot of helpful information, because she just said it seemed a little scattered. So I don't know if that's feedback for the company. They said that this person had also been at the focus group when we were hiring the superintendent. She said that one was so good. So I guess because she'd been to both, she could see the comparison, but wasn't sure if our feasibility study company, Malone and McBroom, got information that they really would be useful for them.
If I can ask, what's our timeline on that? I thought we were going to see something by now, so.
I'm Madam Chair, I had a phone conference with the educational consultant from Malone and McBroom. They've assigned Tom Jacobitis to do it. And then I got a call today from them. They wanted to come and visit all the schools. So we're going to spend one day in early November actually visually going through all the schools. After speaking with Mr. Picaro, I think the timeline is going to be delayed, but I think I'll ask him if it's okay with Mrs. Fisher to have an updated timeline at the next board meeting, so we know what's going on. So I wasn't sure, and I apologize if my departure delayed things, but I have spoken to him, and we're just waiting now to go and see the schools.
Thank you. I hope I'm here to hear.
Mr. Galena.
I think I'd chime in about the Festival of Bands. I was up there this week ago Saturday, and I was in touch with a lot of people up there who were visitors, the judges, and the one shining remark that came out from us about everybody encountered, the band leaders, the judges, is that it's one of the most best run events that they encounter on a yearly basis, year to year. All the details are taken care of. The band parents, which I'm one now too, seem to volunteer, make it run. I'd like to take my hat off to Steve Winton, who was the man running around 100 times around the football fields, the building, to try and make sure everything was going according to plan. He was the chair of that. I had a great time. The parents had a great time. The kids had a great time. I look forward to that every year. It's one fantastic event, and if you can make it out to it, it's way more than some of its parts.
Thank you, Vernon. Does anyone else have, Mrs. Bush?
Just want to say one more thing because this is my last meeting, so I can't advertise it in the future. I just found out our Lego League tournament for our region is going to be held at Tolland High School on November 21st. And it's an all-day event. I think the opening ceremonies is about 9 o'clock, and it usually winds up about 4 o'clock. So I wanted to put that plug out there. I don't know all the official details, but it looks like we probably will have a team or two attending from Vernon. And it's always a great event, and I love to see all the different creative solutions the kids come up with.
Anyone have anything else? Okay. The only thing I want to add is the School Wellness Council has not had an opportunity to meet because Chris Optis was our chairman and he's no longer with us. So we need to find a new chair for the School Wellness Council. Hopefully we can get that running. Okay. Now we'll move on to item 6.2, donation to Skinner Road School.
So I apologize for the lateness of this, but Mrs. Simon gave me this today, and we figured in light of the marathon, what was happening, we've got getting a donation from New Balance for a Spark Start initiative. They're movement kits that'll help students. Approximate cost is about $500. Mrs. Simon is here if you'd like to step up, if anybody has any questions. It's basically a thank you for all the things that Skinner Road School has done. Especially in the 100-mile club. So I know we got 100, we got 1,000,000, and we got 1 billion. So we're somewhere in between there. Anything else you want to add, Mrs. Simon?
No, it's just we were chosen out of all the schools that are participating to receive the award. I didn't get from him how many schools were receiving it, but I think it's because we're doing so well within our standing that we're receiving that.
Mrs. Bush.
Well, I'd like to make a motion that the board approve the donation of Spark Start movement kit from New Balance and Good Sports to Skinner Road School.
Is there a second? Mr. Kemp. Any questions, comments, concerns? All those in favor? It's unanimous. Thank you and congratulations on meeting that award. That's wonderful. And we'll move on to item 7.0 to review and update the Board of Education calendar. Does anyone have any changes or additions to the calendar? No? Okay, move on to item 8.0, opportunity for questions from the press regarding agenda items. Any questions? Okay, we only have one thing left. Mr. Gould.
Well, in my final act on the Board of Education, it's been a pleasure serving with all you guys. I really do appreciate it. I wish you guys all the best of luck in the upcoming year. Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
I'd also like to thank everyone for their work, and I'm going to miss everything to do with the Board of Ed. I'm not going to be totally gone though, I don't think. But I'd like to second the motion to adjourn.
All those in favor? Unanimous. Thank you both for your service. We will miss you very, very much.
Thank you.